All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today for our Grow Smart quarterly meeting, our webinar that we do about grants, loans, and learning for organic farmers. It does say organic farmers. Most of these opportunities are available for all sorts of farming, but often are geared towards sustainable farming or organic farming. So, to get started, I just want to let you know that. We do have some guests today joining us today. And so we're going to do a little welcome. We always talk about who OCO is, what we are doing here, and how we're working for you. And then we have a discussion. We'll be doing a discussion about different types of loans that are available. And we have a special guest from the Fair Finance Fund, Justin Abyss. And then we're also going to move on to different cost sharing options. And we have a guest from EcoCert, Samantha Brahm. Then we'll be talking about grants, training and mentorship, some tips for you, and wrap up Q&A. There are a lot of initiatives right now that are available. So you might notice I'm talking pretty quickly today, and that's because we want to cover everything so that you have it available to you. But of course, we like to begin with a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge here at OCO that there are 46 treaties and other agreements that cover the territory now called Ontario, where the Organic Council of Ontario's membership resides. We are thankful to be able to work and live in these territories. We are grateful to the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people who have cared for these territories since time immemorial and who continue to contribute to the strength of Ontario and to all communities across the province. Please feel free to share your land acknowledgement in the chat. We recognize that you're all coming from different places and we'd love to see all the representation that is possible. A little bit about OCO. I think the majority of you here probably are familiar with us, but we always want to share with anybody who's new or just a little reminder to let you know that we are a non-profit grassroots industry association for organics in Ontario. We represent everyone in the organic value chain here in Ontario. It's our job to work for you and to make your voice heard, to give you resources, to answer your questions, and to provide learning opportunities. And we're just very proud. We are a very small team here at OCO, but we try to do as much as we can to make sure that our organic industry is strong here in Ontario. There is a resources handout regarding the different funding opportunities that we're going to discuss today. And this is just a screenshot of what's available. Sammy's actually going to drop it right there in the chat. And then she'll let you, then you can actually access these. And they do have hyperlinks embedded so that you're able to click on it and learn more about that funding opportunity. And while I'm mentioning Sammy, I'm realizing that I did not do an introduction about who I am and who my team is. So I am Erica Shelley. I'm the Executive Director at the Organic Council of Ontario. And in just a few weeks, I will have been here for 1 year. So that's pretty significant. And I don't feel like I can say I'm new anymore. So no excuses now. If I'm messing up, they're all on me. But I'm really happy to have been part of this world for the last year, helping out all of those in the organic value chain. But we are a team working here at OCO, so I just want to do a special shout out. Sammy actually does a ton of the communications, so you guys will see lots of information that come across on our social media via emails when we're putting these grants together, getting all that information together. She's a big part of you seeing all of that come to you. And then we also have Courtney, who is also working out in the field. She's actually, if there's an in-person thing, it's oftentimes going to be Courtney there, and she's helping with organizing the 45th Wealth Organic Conference, which is coming up in January. And then Iram, who works on the grant side of things with me. So just a small team here, but of course we have an amazing board, and they are all volunteers that put a lot of time into not just sitting on our board and advising, but they're actually a working board, and we really appreciate all the work that they contribute to OCO as well. So with that in mind, we're going to start now with talking about loans. So there are different types of funding opportunities. And most people are most familiar with what a loan is. So it's money you borrow with terms for repayment. And you can actually get all sorts of repayment terms. They might be deferred, they might be only partial payments. And there's oftentimes loans that are available for people who may not qualify otherwise. And so we have um, dug up a lot of those for you. But this month we are super excited because we have Justin. Oh, Justin, last name. I'm gonna make sure I say it right. Abbas?
Yeah, wow, impressive. Most people refer to me as the abyss.
I was like, I'm like, yeah, and Justin and I we were just at Food 2050, the AAC summit this last week, and I said to him, "Hey, I'm gonna see you," and he says, "You are," and he's like, he wasn't so sure. So we actually are both so busy. We never know exactly where we're supposed to be. But you know loans and you know the Fair Finance Fund. So I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself. And do you have some slides you need to share?
Yeah, I do. I have a few, and I'm not sure how much time you wanted me to chat, but we're I can share as much as the time permits. Yeah.
Right. And I think we had 10 minutes allocated for you today. So if you could,
Okay.
that would be great. So I just need to stop my share and then you just need to request.
Okay, just ask you to share there. Oh, looks like it's gonna work for me. Can everyone see my screen?
I can, yeah.
Great. Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks so much, Erica, for the warm welcome. My name is Justin Abbas. I am the Executive Director of the Fair Finance Fund, and we are a social finance lender dedicated to supporting small-scale agriculture and food producers with a focus on sustainability. So today I'm going to talk to you about how to become a client at the Fair Finance Fund, and with the full recognition that we are just one potential avenue for funding, but we'll be talking through the lens of becoming a client of Fair Finance Fund and a little bit about the fund and what we do and the type of enterprises that we tend to invest in or lend to. I always like whenever I'm talking to um, make it fluid. So if you have questions, feel free to throw your hand up and I'll do my best to figure out how to answer them on Zoom here or see your hand. So what we do, as I mentioned, we are a financial social finance lender, and we focus on lending to enterprises that are have a social and a sustainability focus. And so over the years, we've lent to everything from small scale farms to food producers to co-ops, not-for-profits. Again, with a mission that's focused on social purpose and local production. At the end of the day, we're trying to help foster the generation of local food economies across Ontario. So how we raise money to lend to our clients is generally through community bonds. So each year we issue a investment memo that offers interested parties to make investments through community bonds. And so over the years of the fund, we've been operating since 2019. We've raised over 5 million in community bonds, and that that has come through a mixture of private individual investors as well as community foundations and more institutional foundations. So a pretty healthy mixture of both investor profiles. Um, just a little bit about what we've done over the years. Annually, we tend to lend to between 10 and 20 organizations. So we're in September of this year, we've already made 15 loans for 2025. And one of the things that we're most proud of is that we feel like we are directly contributing to Ontario's local food economy with a strong presence in both rural and northern Ontario as well. And so over the years, we've been able to measure our success through a variety of metrics. But one of the things that we're most proud of is for every $20,000 in loans that we issue, we're able to generate one new job. And so that's one of our biggest mandates is promoting local food sales and local job creation in rural parts of Ontario. And we are not just a financial institution, we are also your partner in your business success. And so, one of the things that I really love about the fund, and I actually came to the fund through the lens of a client as well. Still am a food entrepreneur, but came to the fund back in 2021 to help grow my business. And one of the things that really resonated with me about the fund was I was talking to people who understood food businesses and understood the unique challenges of food, the day-to-day grind that it can be. And so when I spoke to the team at the fund at that time, I felt like they really resonated with the problems that I was having and also the goals that I was trying to reach. And so that part really every day is sort of what I carry into my work and part of the job that I love the most is connecting with our clients and trying to help problem solve and figure out creative ways for them to reach their goals. So one of the ways that we help our clients is through our ongoing mentorship program, and we call that Real Assist. And so we have a pool of mentors that we're able to tap into that have a variety of expertise in different disciplines like marketing, operational planning, financial literacy, and cash flow generation. And so we're able to pair our mentors with clients that we feel would be a good match based on what they're trying to achieve or the problem that they're trying to solve for. So for every loan that we issue, we pair that with up to 10 hours of free mentorship for our clients. Just a little bit about the loans that we issue. They range from on the low end 20,000, on the high end 200,000, and in some unique cases we're able to go higher than that. Right now we offer a fixed interest rate of 7.5%. And then one of the other unique things about our loan offering is we give our clients the option for a 30-day grace period. And the idea there is that it gives you time to ramp up your operations and to implement the plans that you've made and put those funds to work so that you're able to start generating some cash based on that funding. And the average term that we offer is 5 years. Again, that can be flexible based on unique circumstances and based on what you're trying to accomplish. And then we also ask for semi-annual reporting. And so we ask all of our clients to report on their environmental and social goals that they've set forth when they became a client. And so through that, we're able to measure success, not just in dollars generated or jobs created, but through environmental and social initiatives that our clients are trying to address in their individual businesses. So just a little bit more about our mentorship program. So we provide hands-on support for your business, and our mentors come with decades of experience in local food and farm as well. So you're getting paired up with someone who's actually run a food business and is focused on a certain discipline in their food business and have been vetted to be sort of an expert in that discipline. And then just a slide or two on how to access our funding. So we have a two-stage process in our funding. So we ask if you're interested in applying to become a Fair Finance Fund client, you fill out a preliminary application that can be found on our website. And the main goal of the preliminary is to ensure that there's value alignment between what the mandate at the fund as well as your mandate in your operation. So we're able to usually turn those around pretty quickly within a couple days and then invite you to submit a full application. And I'll get into a little bit more about what a full application looks like. And during that time, our staff are able to help you along the full application. And once that is completed and we're able to ensure that all the documentation's there. We take that to our loan review committee, and we have a dedicated committee, again, with experts in food and farm, as well as background in social finance. And they are able to analyze the full application and then come to a consensus on whether the application is successful or not. And if it's not successful, it's not necessarily just a rejection. It might just be suggestions on things to work on in terms of your application or in terms of your business. So in a lot of cases, we're able to defer a decision. A client is able to work on the feedback that we've provided, and then they're able to resubmit and come and bring it back to our loan review committee, and in which case we hope that we can get an approval in place. And just a little bit about the businesses that we fund. So as I mentioned, we do focus a lot on farmers, but we also focus on food producers, food processors, distributors. So think local food markets, wholesale distribution. And then we have funded in a few cases, restaurants, wineries, breweries, and distilleries. Again, all of these clients that we fund are focused on local food sales and providing social and environmental mandates in their business. So that is the lens that we look at our clients. So we're not just focused on the economics, we're focused on the positive contributions that you're making to your local community. So how is your business eligible? These are the things that we look for at the fund. Majority of the income is coming from sales of goods and services. So we want you to be focused on your core offering and not have a whole variety of different revenue streams going on. And particularly when I say that, we're hoping that most of your revenue is coming from your actual main purpose of your business and not potentially just grant funding. We've seen issues with that over the years. You are registered as a non-for-profit, charity, co-op, or a business with a clear stated social and environmental values and objectives. So we're looking for a clear mission and vision of your business, and for you to be able to articulate that clearly. And a business plan provided for startup or expansion activities that really hones in on that mission and vision and how you're going to bring that to fruition and start generating local food sales with that vision and mission in place. And with that comes a financial plan that demonstrates the ability to pay back the loan. So of course, we do need those funds to come back because we are able to recirculate that capital and then redeploy that to a new loan. And just a couple tips if you're deciding to apply. We really need to know why you need the loan. So your ability to articulate that to us. You need to determine how much you need, and then you need to determine with that amount, how are you going to be able to repay that? So you need to be able to show a financial plan that shows with a $50,000 investment, I'm going to be able to generate X amount in additional revenue, and therefore I'm going to be able to cash flow X amount, and that will I'll be able to support my loan repayment. And just a quick glance on the type of documentation that we're looking for in our loan application. So we need a business plan, cash flow forecasts. We'll need to check for tax returns, make sure that any taxes are up to date. And then just proof of the business, so registration, articles of incorporation. Again, taxes are paid off. And then if there are any board within your business, not applicable in a lot of cases, but any signing officers. And in some cases, we do ask for a credit check, and we're not necessarily looking for a score per se, but just ensuring that a potential that you're not over leveraged too much, and that you're going to be able to repay the loan. And again, just a little bit more about our resources. So you can apply at fairfinancefund.org/loans. If you have any questions, feel free to email us. It's just info@fairfinancefund.org. And yeah, I would like to just stop there and open it up for any questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Justin. I'm going to actually hold off questions till the end because we are tight on time. And if you're okay to hang around till the end so people can ask questions, is that good for you?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so we'll move back to our other opportunities. I would like to say I think it's amazing what you're doing. The idea of not needing collateral is really big for people that are just getting into these particular um, food industries, and it's really great that that's an available resource for them. We're going to talk about a couple of other loan options as well in our loan section, and just know that we pass along this information. We are not the funding organizations and don't necessarily know everything that is tied in with these, but we're happy to help you out and find out more along with you. So the Advanced Payments Program, APP, helps with cash flow by advancing money against anticipated sales for eligible commodities. And it also gives you operating capital for crop inputs. So that's available to farming operations across Canada with a loan maximum of $1 million. And so the website to look at that loan, you can actually see in the chat. Sammy will be sharing that with you. Another loan that's actually been really underutilized is the Canadian Agriculture Loans Act, CALA. It is a loan guarantee program designed to increase the availability of loans to farmers and agriculture cooperatives. So, farmers can use an agriculture loan to establish, improve, and develop farms, while agricultural co ops may also access loans to process, distribute, and market the products of farming. And what I think is really great about the CALA program, it is actually, um, it again, you don't have to have a lot of collateral. You can be young and you can actually access that particular loan. So you do have to get the loan through a bank or credit union, and they don't advertise it. So sometimes you have to go to the banks that are actually distributing these loans to access the CALA loan. Guarantees 95% of a net loss for the lender. So they are actually the bank that gives it to you is not at a high risk. So it's a really great loan for them as well. So there's certain maximums depending on the purpose. 500,000, for example, for lands and buildings, and $350,000 for other purposes. And that link to that will be in the chat. The Commodity Loan Guarantee Program, CLGP, supports farmers by providing access to short-term operating loans for the purchase of crop input supplies such as seed, fertilizer, and pesticides. It is administered on the behalf of OMAFA by the Agricultural Credit Corporation. ACC, the Agricultural Credit Corporation, is a private sector not-for-profit financial institution comprised of various producer associations and marketing boards. So qualifying farmers can borrow up to $750,000 under the CLGB program. And again, you'll find that link in the chat. The new credit lines and term loans have been just put out there in terms of the trade disruption customer support program. So I did see that there was a question regarding exporting to the US, and we are finding that there are just definitely some disruptions that have happened. So these are new credit lines or term loans in response to these trade disruptions to help with cash flow relief. Businesses must be financially viable prior to the impact of the tariffs. So you need to already have been working business with revenue that you have reported in previous years, unlike some of these other loans, which can be for new enterprises. So up to $500,000 of additional credit lines, defer principal payments for up to 12 months on current loans for qualifying borrowers. All right, so those are the loans that we're going to cover today. I'm sure there are many more available, but that was what we have time and are most directed towards our segment of our population that we deal with in terms of the organic value chain. The second one types of funding that we want to talk about is cost share. So basically, you share the cost of a project with a funder, and that's usually in percentages 60-40, 50-50, 70-30. And so let's talk about some of those cost share programs that are available. The first one is going to be another guest that we're having today. So we have Samantha Brom joining us from EcoCert, and she is the works in client services with EcoCert, and she's going to talk today about the On-Farm Climate Action Fund. So I'm going to hand this over to you. Samantha, do you um, have slides that you're sharing as
Yeah,
well?
I do.
I will stop my share, and if you just want to ask for permission,
Okay.
yours.
Okay. I think that should work. I
I,
hope that's working.
yep, I see it.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you to the Organic Council of Ontario for allowing me to give this short presentation on Farm Climate Action Fund. As Erica said, I am Samantha. I work at EcoCert Canada helping farmers and processors get organic certification. And I also work on helping farmers certified with any certification body in Canada. You do not have to be with EcoCert. Apply to the off-CAF program. This is the second round of funding for that EcoCert has received from Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada to help farmers reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And the program is set to run from 2025 to 2028. EcoCert received funding for two streams, nitrogen management and cover crops. Under nitrogen management, it is the efficient manure practices. Eligible practices would be spreading manure in the spring rather than the fall, or smaller applications of manure applied more than once in a growing season. Also, under nitrogen management is introducing or increasing legumes in your crop rotation. So this could be growing a legume as a cash crop for the first time. I know out in Ontario, you guys grow lots of legumes. So this is more like can be more for the West. So yeah, increasing or growing a legume intercropped with a cash crop in order to increase nitrogen. The other stream we receive funding for is cover crops. Under this stream, the cover crop must be left standing through the winter at a height of about 6 inches. It is okay if the cover crop seeded winter kills, since the cover crop cannot be harvested under this program. Eligible expenses. So to be eligible for the program, the Better Management Practice, or BMP, you are implementing needs to be a change or something new to your previous farming practices. So for example, if you always grow, say, a clover crop and you would like to change this up and maybe add like another species to the clover, or trying a different blend of species altogether, but it does need to be something new or a change to previous practices. Other eligible expenses under both streams are the cost of the seed, the cost to prepare the field for seeding, and then your actual seeding costs. You can also use your own seed, and this cost would go under in-kind expenses when submitting expenses to us. There's also funding available under nitrogen management for soil testing. Also mandatory in the program is every applicant must have an agronomist or agrologist or certified crop advisor write a letter. This can be in the form of an email. It just needs to say that you have worked together and that the ag tech approves of the better management practice you are implementing on your farm. And there is funding to help cover the cost of working with this ag tech expert. So one thing I'd like to note here about the amount of funding you are eligible for. Most people think it's based on the expenses that you incur to implement the better management practice on the farm, but it is actually based on the number of acres in which you have a better management practice. So either nitrogen management or cover cropping. So it can people get confused that they think if they submit us like, I don't know, $50,000 in expenses, they're going to get back 85% of that. But that is not how it works. There's a formula used to determine how much funding you are eligible for. That gets sent to you in a contract. And then you just have to submit expenses that are 15% more of that eligible amount from the contract. So hopefully that makes sense. So we still have a small amount of funding available for 2025. Yeah, so if you have a better management practice you have completed this year and you think it could fit with the program, it's not too late to apply. You can apply for something that's already either in the ground, like if you have a cover crop in the ground, you don't have to apply before you actually do the project. It just has to be in this year. So if you want to call me or email me, the email address is there, offcaf@ecocert.com. Or if you're thinking about something for next year's program, our applications usually open on April 1st. And that's about all I have to say about it. I didn't want to get too into it. So I just thought I'd touch on it. And if anybody has any questions or wants to contact me later, that'd be great.
All right. Well, that's fantastic. Thanks so much, Samantha. And I think the takeaway I would have from that is that you guys actually have some funds left. So if people have actually
Mhm.
done stuff, it would be, I mean, you want to use up those funds. They just
Definitely.
they're not used. So
Yeah.
sounds like a great opportunity for anyone who has done these practices. And with the next intake that's going to happen, will previous participants be able to, if they're doing a new practice or new acreage, be able to apply for that second round of funding?
Yep. Yeah. As long as it's something different, you can't apply for the exact same thing on the exact same fields. But if it's a new field, and you're doing something new on that field, then yes, for sure you can apply again. We have several repeat applicants.
Okay, perfect.
Mm.
So Sammy shared that in the chat there. And Samantha, are you able to stay on till the end if
Yep,
we have more questions? All right.
for sure.
All right. So we're going to get back to the other cost sharing programs that we have. So can you confirm that you can see that okay,
Yep.
Sammy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So the next one we want to talk about is FedDev Ontario. FedDev actually finances a lot of Southern Ontario businesses, and they're key, but they basically say it's key to Canada's global competitiveness and long-term prosperity. So basically, they are investing to build and compete by supporting companies to adopt cutting-edge solutions, enhance productivity, break into new markets, and build for the future. So this is actually, I would say, very um, creative. There's a lot of things that you can do within this particular grant, but they do want growing and established businesses that have more than 5 full-time employees and cooperatives and indigenous um, uh, um, people and businesses located or expanding in Southern Ontario that are for-profit entities located and operating in Southern Ontario. So you have to be both of those at the time of the application. And you can have no more than 500 full-time employees. So between 5 and 500 must be incorporated and registered to do business in Canada or Ontario for at least the past 3 years. And that link is down in the box. And that money usually has run out by this time of year. So I actually just confirmed with Sam and it says still open. So that's amazing. The next program that I want to talk about is the Agri Innovate program. So this program provides repayable contributions to incentivize targeted commercialization, demonstration, and or adoption of commercial ready innovative technologies and processes that increase that increase agriculture and agri-food sector competitiveness and sustainability benefits. So if you are interested in that, the intake period is open, but it's actually going to close soon. So if you are going to take advantage of that particular funding opportunity, take advantage of it really quickly. So the deadline November 30th, but oftentimes some of these, it's also when they've had enough submissions. And so November 30th is the deadline to submit a project summary form. December 31st is the deadline to submit a full application. You have to be invited to apply. So you put in an application to let them know what you're going to do, and then they're like, oh, you can actually apply. Applications received after the deadlines will not be considered, and the projects must be completed by March 31st, 2028. So that link is for you in the chat. And again, I just want to remind you that we do have a document we'll be sharing with you that does have all those links as well. The Grains Innovation Fund just opened up, and it seeks to support projects that will drive growth and innovation in Ontario's grain and use markets. To qualify for a partnership with Grain Farms of Ontario and receive monetary support under this fund, a company must demonstrate to the satisfaction of the Grain Farmers of Ontario that the project utilizes a minimum of 40 metric tons per year of Ontario barley, corn, oats, soybeans, and wheat crops or crop residues. Pilot projects using smaller volumes may be considered if scalability and utilization growth can be demonstrated. The project must also meet at least one of the following criteria. It's either got to open new markets for Ontario grains or grain residues, expand the use of and demand for Ontario grains or grain residues, or promote Ontario grains or grain residues as the best choice. Support development of novel value-added products derived from Ontario grains and or increase the value premiums of Ontario grains or grain residues. Each project is subject to review by Grain Farmers of Ontario and will consider all merits of the project and benefits accruing to Ontario grain farmers, in addition to the amount of grain utilized. So you can take a look at that, but this is a cost share program. Eligible projects can be reimbursed for 60% of projects cost to a maximum of $75,000 per project. And one of the things I want to make clear here is $75,000 is 60% of whatever that total is that you could spend on this project. So you can get up to $75,000. That would represent 60% of your total spend, which I don't know what the math is on that, but it's more than 75,000. All right, as part of the Ontario Agriculture Sustainability Initiative, the Resilient Agriculture Landscape Program, RALP, provides funding to support Ontario farmers in making their agricultural lands more productive and resilient. The program provides funding, hold on, to support projects to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and sequester carbon. So the projects will focus on natural grassland establishment, perennial biomass crops, perennial warm season pastures, reduced tillage, tree and shrub planting, and water retention. And that intake is open right now. Okay, our next one is the financial difficulty support. Again, this is from SCAP, the Sustainable Canadian Agricultural Partnership. So you can get up to $5,650 for financial analysis support. So under this program, Ontario farmers who are experiencing financial difficulty may qualify to access financial advisory services to complete a farm financial analysis. And the next one here is Eco Canada. So Youth Employment Funding Eco Canada, it does 75% wage subsidy and actually can do more if you're an underrepresented group. So employers can receive 75% wage coverage up to 20,000 with an increased maximum of 30,000 for Indigenous youth, persons with disabilities, or those in rural or remote areas. The program supports work placements in fields like energy, forestry, mining, earth sciences, offering youth valuable experiences in those fields. I have applied for these grants year after year after year, and they are very easy to apply for, and reporting is very easy on them. All right, the last one we're going to go into is the grants. And of course, grants are, the thing you want that we often want to get because it's not repayable and it's not necessarily a cost sharing model. So they are for a specific purpose. So the first one we're going to talk about is RAISE, the Racialized and Indigenous Supports for Entrepreneurs. So that intake is open, offering up to $10,000 in funding, culturally responsive business coaching, training, and network opportunities for Indigenous, Black, and other racialized entrepreneurs in Ontario. And that is, I think that link should be dropped into the chat. We also have a building resilience in agriculture. So this supports innovative projects that apply science and innovation in a real world context, focused on feasible nature positive solutions. So this intake's closing soon, September 30th, so in about a week. And it is actually funded by National Geographic, PepsiCo, and Food for Tomorrow. All right. Kind of some goals of this particular one is soil health. So they want to see enhanced soil fertility for productive ecosystems. Obviously, that is very much under the organic mandate. Climate mitigation and adaptation, build resilience, sequester carbon and lower emissions. Watershed health, improve water quality and reduce nutrient runoff. Biodiversity, protect and enhance biodiversity in agriculture landscapes. Improve livelihoods, support farmers with training and resources for sustainable practices. So take a look at that, and that link should be in the chat. All right. The TELUS Indigenous Communities Fund, ICF, offers $5,000 to $25,000 grants for Indigenous-led social health and community programs. These grants support Indigenous leaders and community groups to lead projects related to health, education, land and water preservation, community building, and cultural and language revitalization. So the fall application period opened on September 10th, and it's a very short application period. It remains open until October 9th or until the first 200 applications are received. So if this is something you're interested in, I recommend getting to it quickly. All right. The Lower Thames Valley Precision Phosphorus Reduction Grant is funding to reduce phosphorus runoff with targeted BMPs for farms in the Lower Thames Valley. I know this is very specific, but if you happen to be there, that intake has just opened for its second year. And basically, it works with farms of all sizes to improve soil health and water quality.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And training and mentorship is our last group that we're going to talk about. So this is non-repayable funding provided for a very specific purpose. So Seeding Digital Skills is actually open on September 25th for this next cohort, but it's basically an innovative training program designed to upskill your workforce with the latest digital twin technology. This program will be funding approximately 400 participants to upskill in the digital twinning field. So it's a, kind of give you an idea what that's about. So basically providing livestock, farmers, hatcheries, crop and produce growers, greenhouses, breweries, wineries, like everything across the thing to develop twins using this platform called Unity's 3D platform. So it's very specific, but if you are interested in that, it has just opened up. All right, our Women in Agriculture Essential Leadership Skills Development Program. This is a 10-week program that runs from October 13th to December 19th. And this is designed to empower women working in primary agriculture and industry association by developing core leadership skills. So their next program, as mentioned, is starting October 13th. So if you're interested in that, you should be able to find a link for that in the chat. All right, and the AG HR Management Program. This program delivers practical, actionable solutions tailored to the unique challenges of farm operations. So this next cohort begins November 2025, and it's tailored to farm owners, farm managers, and HR, human resources, who want to enhance their people management skills and improve workforce outcomes. Over the course of 3 months, you will dive into essential topics like recruitment, training, retention, workplace wellness, and policy development, all with a focus on the unique needs of the agriculture industry. All right, and that link should be for you in the chat there. Okay, so the hands-on training program, TFWP School, Hiring Foreign Workers in Agriculture. It basically simplifies the temporary foreign worker program so that it's more easy to understand. So over 4 live online sessions of 90 minutes each, you'll gain the knowledge and tools to navigate every stage of the LMIA process with confidence and accuracy. So if you are hiring through the temporary foreign worker program, and if you've had any confusion, clarification, if there's been some changes to that, that might be a useful program for you. Farm Resilient Mentorship is from Farmers for Climate Solutions, and it's a learning hub with all the tools you need to reduce input costs, boost productivity, and improve soil health. So this is anybody can use it, but we do want to mention that it is a very great resource. There's ongoing access, and yeah, you don't have to sign up necessarily for a particular time, which is great. Our Toronto Urban Farmer Training Program is Tuft is a program designed to support urban farmers as they create viable, sustainable enterprises by sharing practical knowledge and tools specific to the urban context. So the next session for that is beginning on October 23rd, and it runs on Mondays from 7 to 9 p.m. So it's a live online course with assignments and discussion groups. So great way to build community and collaboration. To complete the course, participants will develop a business plan for their urban agriculture enterprise. So if that's something you might have been interested in, this would be a great opportunity for you. And there is no cost for this particular program. Okay, the Skills Development Fund training stream. This is, it offers funding for organizations to fund innovative projects that address challenges to hiring, training, or retaining workers, including apprentices to drive Ontario's economic growth. The SDF training stream supports projects that develop a resilient workforce by supporting access to the labor market, strengthening efforts to attract, train, and retain workers, and building employer capacity to adapt and innovate, encourage partnerships, and drive innovation through collaborative training initiatives that build local capacity and help communities respond to shocks in labor market conditions and pivot to in-demand, emerging, and essential sectors, supported skills, trades, construction labor, and a lot of industries here. So there's a lot that's really useful with that skill development fund training stream, and that intake is now open. The National Farmers Wellness Network is a free crisis support for Canadian farmers. And I guess after going through all the funding that we need to apply for, oftentimes there's crisis related to financial issues, to crop issues, and just mental health in general, living in these turbulent times that we live in. So it's a 24/7 confidential help available national farmer crisis line. So it's very specific for farmers. 1-866-FARM S01. It offers support anytime. So anybody who needs that, you can reach out to that, and Sammy will share that resource in the chat. And whew, there's a lot to get through. I want to just give you an idea, some tips for environmental grants in particular. So have a clear work plan and timeline, align clearly with the funder's goals. So when you're doing environmental grants, you're telling that story of what that how you're going to meet what their objectives are. So you want to be specific and measurable. Measurable is very important. Sometimes people don't understand that can be in dollars. It can be, if you're measuring nutrition, soil, if you're looking at production, efficiencies, and of course, if it's like an HR thing, employee uh, um, satisfaction. So lots of things that can be measured, and you want to show environmental impact and co-benefits. All right. And in general, tips and tricks for funding. So I have applied for Oh, so many of these over the number of years, and these are my tips and tricks that I want to share with you. So the number one thing is make sure you're actually a candidate. Sometimes you get excited and we're not for profit, and then you look and it's an only for profit. So make sure you are a candidate. Pay attention to your yearly revenue, your number of employees. FTE means full-time employees. That's a big number that comes up a lot in these applications. And then the minimums and maximums. If it's a cost share program, oftentimes you're going to be paying up front. And so you need to make sure you do have that funding available that you can pay for it beforehand and then be reimbursed at a later day. So that's an important thing to note. And so when you're looking at the minimums and maximums on number one there, if you don't have the cash to do that maximum, you need to make sure that you're in a place where you can actually pay for those on a cost share type of situation. Get to know your funders. So I spend so many times, I actually do in-person meetings with many of my um, funders or people that are involved in this, phone calls and emails, and just really develop those relationships so that I can understand what they want and how we can meet their needs. Because funders are not there just to help you, but they actually have goals too. So you need to make sure you're helping them reach their goals and that you're collaborating and that it's a two-way street really if you think about it like that. And do you have an idea that you think is fundable? Don't assume it's good. I come up with ideas, pie in the sky ideas all the time, and I think they're great, and I get knocked down a lot. And so I will talk to a funder, and they'll be like, no, that's not what we're doing. That doesn't work with community. That doesn't address those things. You've done that before. We don't want you doing the same application." So you might think you have a great idea. Don't just assume you do. Reach out and ask them, is this something you see funding? And what is the amount I should be applying for? Sometimes you might actually be applying for too little and they're not interested in you, or too much. They might put a number out there, but it's actually that they're really wanting people to come in on the low end of that funding, or they want you to come in on the high end. And the only way you're going to know that is if you communicate with them, or you can communicate with other people who have received funding from those organizations in the past. Yesterday, I was at the small grains program, kind of discussing that, and we've noticed that a lot of the farmers are talking to each other as they're looking at the bidding. They actually do a bidding system with that, like an auction system with those grants, and so they've all started talking now that they're on to their fifth year and have a good idea of what is available. So some other organizations that are currently offering agricultural funding, you can see we don't have enough time to go into everything, and we do definitely try to push these out, amplify them on our social media channels and sometimes by email. So make sure you are following us on Facebook and on Instagram and that you've signed up for our emails. Good chances if you're here, you have signed up for our emails, but if you just happen to have heard about it, you can actually go to our website and sign up for the emails there. And Sammy, if you don't mind dropping that address in the chat there, that people can do that, that would be great. So those other organizations include the Ontario Soil Network, the Ontario Soil and Crop Improvement Association, the Lower Thames Conservation, Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, Ecological Farmers Association of Ontario. That small grains program is going to be opening up again at the beginning of December. I didn't cover it in this one. We'll cover it in our January talk, but wanted to make sure it was there. The Sustainable Canadian Agricultural Partnership, Eco Canada, and the Agriculture Credit Corporation. These are just some. And please share with us if you have any funding opportunities that come up that we have not covered. Well, like I said, we are a very small team, and so we can only do so much. So if you have things to pass along to us, please do. That way we can share them with everyone and help everyone in the sector. If you don't mind just dropping in the chat, what funding have you actually accessed this year? It might have been Canada Summer Jobs or Eco Canada. It might be something through the work tariff relief or specifically for your industry. Drop it into the chat And if you do want more information about a particular grant, as I've mentioned, Sammy's going to be sharing that handout, which will have the links. But if there's something in particular, if you have any questions, please reach out to us at info@organiccouncil.ca and we can actually send you those direct links. Just to highlight a couple of other things, this Saturday we do have an afternoon wagon tour with Finnings. Sammy, did you say that's sold out now?
There's 4 spots left.
Okay, there are 4 spots left in that. And Finnings, if any of you have not heard of them, it would be absolutely amazing. But they are, I would say, probably one of our very biggest supporters here at Oka. We are so thankful to them, and they are doing amazing things in this industry, and they've been doing it for years and years and years. They were groundbreakers in the organic industry here in Ontario. And so going to their farm, you will learn so much. So I would definitely recommend that. But you can actually go, just not take the wagon tour, perhaps. I don't know if that's available, Sammy. Um, and then please put it on your calendars. We haven't put tickets up for sale, but we are taking in sponsorships and uh, applications for exhibitors, which will be limited compared to last year because we have moved. We are moving to the Guelph Farmers Market, and we are super excited because we're going to become a little bit more community based, easier parking and trade show in the evening when we have the intensives, afternoon, evening after our intensives, which has been one of the concerns. So lots of changes. Someone said it's like us coming out of the parents' basement and we're going out on our own. We're on our 45th year, so we're definitely grown up, but we are excited to have this new venue and new format for the conference. This is Organic Month. So we had this year our first annual Organic Champions Awards. These are nominations, and tomorrow is our last day to submit a nomination for Organic Trailblazer, Steward of the Herd, Market Gardener, Field Crop Leader, Pollinator Protector, or Community Roots. So Sammy can drop that into the chat and you guys will be able to link to that to nominate people if you'd like to. And if you are not already a member, you can become an organic advocate member have a chance to win a $150 Mama Earth card. So you've got to become a member by tomorrow. So go to our website there. And you can also celebrate Organic Month by sharing why you choose organic on Instagram or Facebook. And again, great chance to win a produce box from Mama Earth. So that is the last one. So this is our feedback poll. And Sammy can actually drop the link for that also into the chat. There's a lot of links down there. I don't know if she's kept up with me. Sorry, Sammy. Yeah, if you would give us some feedback, we're always learning from you. And so that is all I'm going to share. And then I'm going to take some questions. So if you can just raise your hand, or if there's might be some questions in the chat. I don't know, Justin or Samantha, did you see any that were particular for you that came through that you'd like to answer?
None yet, I don't think. I've been keeping an eye and I haven't seen any
All right.
specific questions.
Do we have any questions there? They'd be buried amongst all these awesome links. All right. If you just want to put your hand up, then if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. We know uh, there's been a lot that we addressed today and very quickly. So do we have any questions? None. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, Justin, where's your website again if people want to reach out to you or your email?
Yeah, you can reach out to us at fairfinancefund.org and info@fairfinancefund.org. We'll be able
Okay.
to take it from there and try to help you out.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining today, Justin. How about you, Samantha? How can people reach out to your organization to find out about this funding or anything about organic certification information?
Yeah, so offcaf at ecocert.com, and they can send any questions either regarding organic certification or the offcaf program. I can answer both of those.
All right. So I do have Robert was asking to apply for on-calf nitrogen management grant for equipment. Do we have to be certified organic?
So with the funding that EcoCert has received, it is only for organic farmers. There is other organizations that do have funding for not, like for conventional farmers. So yeah, you do have to be certified
Okay. All right.
or be in at least pre-certification.
Pre-certification,
Yeah.
start the application.
Yeah.
Now, thanks. Lots of information. And it is very overwhelming, Natalie, and that's what we're trying to do is put it all in one place. And of course, this is recorded, so you can come back to it. Sammy will have a link, and we'll actually put it on our website and add it to the notes of the recording as well. So you can have a link to those, a link to the links is what they're providing. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much and happy organic month. It's been great to share this month with you. I can't believe we're getting towards the end of it. And only a week left, and we hope to see some of you out at Finnings this week. We can't wait to see those nominations come in, and of course in January see you all at the Guelph Organic Conference. And we'll be doing another one of these, I believe, in January. Is that right, Sammy? Is that where we are on the calendar?
I think so, or early February.
Or early February. We have a lot that happens in January, so it's a busy month for us. All right, well, thank you so much and have a fantastic day and be well. Bye.